You'll cue me when to start, right? Okay. So I can be
Okay,
looking at you.
you're on.
Right.
Larry, I think some of the great fun about Movie, and if people will just listen and always keep alert, are some of those famous one-liners. They're just some great lines in that. Do you have any one or two or three lines from Movie that are special favorites of yours?
You know, when you're writing a screenplay, you could, if you lost the final copy, you could probably sit down and write it all over again because it's that fresh in your mind. But when it's finished, I watch the film and I hear something and it's as though it's for the first time, which is to say I don't walk around with them in my head, you know. I mean, there are half a dozen, I think, beauties in it, but I don't recall them.
When you were writing it, as opposed to when you were writing MASH, what did you kind of have to shift gears? Because it seems to me that the kind of humor in movie is quite different from the punchlines that we get in MASH.
Well, indeed, the people in MASH are very frustrated, angry, unhappy bunch of people being put in a in a world they never made, and that's in sharp contrast to the characters in movie, who are stereotypical actors, or rather types in films, who were essentially very optimistic. It was the early 30s. We were not at war. We were not in the first war. There, by the time MASH takes place, America has been in 2 wars. So it reflects, I think, the different social scene.
Did you do a lot of homework before you sat down and wrote movie?
No, I just lived for a certain number of years, and that turned out to be the homework.
What were some of your favorite films of the 30s then?
Singing in the Rain, Stanley. I think everyone's favorites, really. You know, all of the Cagney pictures and the Bogart pictures and the Joan Crawford pictures and the Bette Davis, the stuff that Saturdays were made of. One couldn't wait to go and see. Cliche. Sometimes, I mean, when they were making it, they thought Casablanca was a terrible, terrible film. They couldn't wait to finish it. It turned into a classic. But you remember films like that. I do.
MASH, of course, has been going how many years now?
A little longer than the war, I think. It's in its 7th season, and there's talk of an 8th.
And do you see it going on maybe to 10 or 12?
Well, I left after the 4th year because I was getting a battle fatigue, I think is the word, probably the phrase. I don't know. It depends on the actor's willingness to go on and on playing the same characters and what that would mean to their various careers. And there are economics. There's CBS's rating struggle, and 20th Century Fox, which is the producer of the film, whatever interest they might have in prolonging it. I don't see it going on much more than another year.
Is Hawkeye you?
Well, he was for 4 years. I mean, there was a lot of a connection between me and the character and the actor Alan who plays him.
In the when it was being started originally, Larry, did you have a lot of say-so about the casting of it?
No, I wrote the pilot for the television series while I was living in England, and I didn't really think I was going to be as involved as I later became. The casting was done by Gene Reynolds and Burt Metcalf, who worked for 20th Century Fox, and they picked all of the original cast, and I came back to a rehearsal to make whatever changes would be necessary, and was delighted with their choice, needless to say. From then on, I was part of the show and took part in future casting, but not the original, no.
As time has gone on and some characters have left and others have come into it, do you think that it has diminished any since the original concept?
I used to watch the MASHes, and still do, on the occasional rerun that I had anything to do with, and I could never really enjoy them. I could only see what was wrong, where it could have been better, what a better line here would have been, or we should have faded sooner, or whatever. I'm afraid that's still true. I watch the show and I redo it as I'm watching it, so I'm not the best person to ask about its effectiveness.
Getting back to movie, whose concept was it? Who first got the idea for it?
Next to the word I hate the word me, but it was me. I thought of it, thought of the formula for recreating a double bill as we used to see many years ago.
And do you think that the young people who go to the film, do you think they'll have any trouble identifying with it at all?
I don't think so on a couple of scores. I think they've been watching a steady diet of those old movies on television while doing homework for years and years and years. I know my kids have. And then I think each one is self-contained, so that, I mean, Rocky, they liked Rocky, and Rocky is, without anyone making a point of it, a remake. It is, you know, the classic story of the kid fighting his way to the top. That's essentially what one of the two stories we have concerns itself with, and then I think the other picture's entertaining on its own. I think they should. I think they stand up if you have no frame of reference.
Larry, it's been a joy getting to meet you,
And-
and thank you very much, and good luck to you with Movie.
Thank you very much. Cut it off.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay. Okay?
Good.
All right.
Okay, that was painless.
Did you feel confined at all, having to keep within that time frame of the 30s?
No, I think it helps you to.
I had that feeling.
I just hope that
I had that feeling.
the average viewer